Greetings and welcome to
YAS Podcast, formerly known as
YAS Stripper Podcast,
This is our podcast, all of ours.
a podcast for all sex workers.
In this podcast, we will discuss the ins and outs, ups and downs of our lives and experiences as sex workers. I am your host, Daisy Ducati.
I am your Hopra, Gigi Holiday.
I'm your stripper queen from the north, Onyx.
I'm AM Davies, and this is YAS Podcast. YAS Podcast is produced by YAS Work.
Hey y'all, AMD here. First episode of 2026. In a different location recording this episode because I've been snowed out of my studio. I literally can't get to it. I fell in the snow trying to get to it to record this. And then I lost my phone in the snow. I found out later and had to go back and find it. So yay, 2026. So far, so slow. This is like I said, our first episode of 2026. It has been a little slow going. The top of this year, we really had quite a busy year last year. And the break was really nice. And getting back into the swing of things is just taking a little bit of time. I guess, I don't have to tell you what's happening in the world, but it definitely is, energy draining. That's for sure. So yeah, there's dealing with what's happening in the world, dealing with massive amounts of snow, and just trying to get back to work, after a nice long break. So would love to hear from y'all how your winter break was and how 2026 is going for you so far. I did make it out to AVN, you guys. I flew out there. It was my first time, and Daisy Ducati and I got to meet in person. We've been working together for several years now, but we finally got to meet in person. And dude, it was awesome. I mean, it was like we had already known each other, which I guess we have since we've spent so much time talking and working together over the last several years. But it was awesome. We had so much fun. And we got to walk around and do interviews with all types of performers. So this show is actually a compilation of mini interviews that we did with adult performers at AVN in Las Vegas, January 2026. Now, I'm not going to lie, right? I did a couple of interviews on my own at first. All of these interviews you're going to see were done in order. And I did a couple on my own because Daisy was busy doing signings still. And it was a lot harder doing it by myself in such a busy setting, a loud setting. So I did a couple on my own, and then Daisy did a bunch on camera with some people. And she's amazing. And so at first when I was walking around trying to get interviews, like nobody knew who I was. And then when I started walking around with Daisy, like everyone knows Daisy. And it was really awesome seeing Daisy in her element and being around her community members. It was really awesome to witness that and to be so welcomed into the community as well. So it really was such a great event. It was really professional, really thoughtful. It was ran very, very well. And everyone there was just awesome. So, kudos to the AVN production team, for the AVN Expo production team. It's a huge event. It was huge, you guys. I definitely recommend trying to go sometime. It was just such a blast. So here are some clips starting with interviews that I did. Our first interview clip that you're going to see is with Kaiia Eve. And Kaiia Eve is an award-winning performer. She's also a director and a producer. And you can find out more about Kaiia Eve on X at Kaiia_Eve. That's KAIIA_Eve. Let's see what Eve has to say about her work and the industry.
Hello, I am Kaiia Eve. I live out here in Las Vegas. I volunteer for Suede from time to time. I'm gonna be so honest, like it's kind of small, but it's huge. they did an update on Instagram and they moved where the DMs are. And yeah, I don't get as many like DMs that I'm noticing that result in sales. So I don't know what they did with the algorithm. Also, I know that I have been labeled a problem account, even though I have like a good account standing on Instagram. So I just think it's pretty scrutinized, much heavier than a lot of other people's are. So yeah, social media is like the bane of my existence as well. Sales have just gone down, I think, across the board for me. At least I wouldn't say I don't do direct sales, but in translation, I watch my analytics from where like clicks come from, and my clicks have gone down. Oh, like kind of collectively. But I have noticed now that I pay, which I really do not want to. But I do notice that when I pay $11 a month for like the subscription on Twitter, I do get more people who are able to see my tweets. And like it's very suppressed if you're not paying into it. Now. Yeah, sure. What's the most unexpected skill Ford has taught you? Ford has taught me. I never thought that I would be a video editor. I've always been an artist who paints with her fingers. I don't even like to use paintbrushes. So it's like a really foreign concept being able to sit down and edit art on an editing program. Like, of course, I was a Tumblr girly overlaying, like, text on a cool background. But, like, what we have to do now, it's pretty crazy. I never thought I'd be so well versed. I actually recently wrote up a resume. I decided against taking this, like, office job. I can't work in an office. My ADHD would kill me. But I tried, and I wrote this resume. My brother helped review it, and he actually writes resumes for a living. He helps people, write them better. Yeah. I told him all of my skills of just like how many posts do I put up, how many tweets have I made, all down the line. He's like, "This is insane. You have so many skills when it comes to working online as an influencer," and he was very blown away as an Ivy League graduate. So remember that we are hardworking bitches out here. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I love that Kaiia was talking about what's happening on social media. Social media has just been really difficult across the board. And we heard that a lot actually at AVN. And it's not just Instagram anymore. It's like happening across many platforms. So something to just kind of be aware of, I think, is a community that like if you're feeling some hurt on social media, like you're not alone. And also, yeah, it's really interesting as sex workers, we have developed so many skills and one of them is video editing and you have to learn a lot very quickly to stay competitive. So those were some really interesting quotes by Kaiia Eve. Next, I stopped over at the inmelanin.com booth and I ran into Lala Ivy, who at first she was by herself and so I introduced myself and spoke to her, and it was a big booth, and she was by herself. I must have just caught her at a time like that, and asked her if I could come back and interview her when there was more people there, so that because she can't interview with me, and then what happens to the booth. And so I did. I came back, and she was just getting ready to leave for the day, and these people work really hard at these booths, and you know, she waited when she was done breaking down and getting done with her job for the day. She very graciously interviewed with me for a few minutes. So, huge shout out to Lala Ivy for taking the time. It was such a busy day on Friday, y'all. And I just really appreciate everyone that took the time. Lala Ivy is a Chicago born model and adult performer. And as I mentioned, she was representing inmelanin.com at AVN. And you can learn more about her at lalaivy.com. That's LALAIVEY.com. Here's Lala. Pause, 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 pause. Pause, 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 pause.
Hello, I am Lala. I be here at ABN Expo Show 2022. and I'm here with the melanin.com representing. What's a myth about porn performers that you're tired of correcting? Oh my goodness. I would say people, like we said, we're like the most dirtiest people. Oh no, we're the cleanest. We get tested very often. Very, very often. Every 2 weeks, we get tested for everything that you could think of. Even the newer diseases that's coming out. We're very clean people. We're on our health and our, in our wealth and everything. Yeah. I agree 100%. Us as well. Yeah. So, what's something about AVN that you'd like people to know that they can't see on social media? I feel like you get to see a little bit more of our personalities here. So, you only see just us working on social media, but in person, you get to kind of be us and how we really interact with our fans and in our co-star, my colleagues. So, it's a more intimate event, Yeah, I love that. Can you tell us about inmelanin.com and like what sets that site apart and things like that? And melanin.com is a site that is ran and operated by Black women. And, we love to promote ourselves and also other race that, ethnicities that support us and our allies and everything. And we just pretty much, you know, put out everything that our fans love to see. I love it. Like a for us, by us kind of situation. Thank you.
I think Lala did such a great job of answering that question. That is a huge myth in the industry. And that came up more than once at AVN, and I've also heard this many times before that the sex workers are get tested regularly. They have to. It's part of their job. And I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, like, yeah, I know like straight up sluts, not whores, that, like had like spread STDs. So not like purposefully, but it happens, because they're not getting tested as regularly. Whereas sex workers, especially the porn industry, gets tested so regularly. And so that age old myth of that like sex workers are spreading diseases, it's actually like completely wrong and backwards. So I really appreciated that answer from Lala Ivy. Thanks again. And be sure you guys to check out inmelanin.com, which is Black female owned. Yeah, check that out. So next we get into interviews that Daisy did. Yeah, she killed it. She started with Aiden Starr, who literally Aiden Starr is a star, y'all. Very entertaining to listen to. This is a great interview. Aiden Starr is a veteran content creator and a director of hardcore porn. And you can learn more about her on X at Aiden Starr. That's at AIDENSTARR. Here's Aiden and Daisy.
Hello, everybody. We are here with. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Aiden Starr.
Aiden Starr. I love Aiden Starr.
I love you. I know.
Aiden Starr has been one of my most amazing friends in the industry, and she has helped me so much in my career.
You have also helped me in my career. My very first Evil Angel movie that really, really fucking made money, Daisy was on the cover.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I think I
thank
have
you.
some copies of that with me.
Yes, probably. Thank you for that.
Thank you. So it's amazing to get to talk to you today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being on YAS Podcast.
Oh, thank you.
So, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're going through as an industry right now. Like,
There's a lot.
It's been a rough year.
Yeah. It's been a rough like 10, 15 years. There's a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, what is one law or regulation right now that people outside the industry don't understand?
Oh my gosh. There's so fucking many. I know that there's stuff coming up that I feel like people probably talked about, and I'm just gonna take it back just in case no one's brought it up recently to Sesta Costa.
Yeah.
So this law is meant to help people to prevent trafficking. And what it actually did was take away the ability for sex workers to advertise for themselves and make money online.
And so what it actually did was increase trafficking. So you want to stay away from regulating where if people are able to do ads for themselves online, they should be able to put ads for themselves online.
Yeah.
Trafficking happens when you make things illegal. If you make more things illegal, you create crime. That's where criminals flock to. So I would say for me, Sestifos is still, it just digs at me fucking every day. There's so much, and I'm sure there's so many people in here that work in legal and work in that are going to talk about those things. But for me, being in my business, the way I do it, Sestifos is a huge issue.
Yeah, huge. And it has really hurt the industry so much.
Yes,
Hurt the
and it
performers.
continues
Yeah.
to hurt the industry. Like I used to have access to this website that had what's called whitelisting, where providers could give references for clients inside of a database.
Oh, that's amazing.
That made being a provider so much safer, and that website is gone because of Sestifos.
And that's the thing, is it takes away a lot of the safety features that we
Yes.
use and the things that like keep us safe.
That's my main beef. Obviously, I'm upset about internet regulation, but in my heart, the most important thing is the safety of providers. That's number one for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Sestifos.
And so you've been in the industry for quite a while now. I've been in the industry for quite a while, and you've been around for a while when I started.
Yes, I rode my dinosaur to the pyramid when my first industry job.
What do you think has changed the most since you first started?
The internet. That's how fucking old I am. The fucking internet, bro. Like we used to, it's all this stuff everywhere. We used to advertise in newspapers, rag mags.
Yeah.
We used to have to go to the corner shop or dirty shop with a fucking corner in New York City and pick up the ad mag to see who you wanted, and then you call the number from the payphone at the corner and
Wow.
let us know where you are and what you did so that we know you were safe. Now the internet.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, specifically why I'm pissed off about losing safety features on the internet, because the internet is fucking scary, man. There's so much anonymity on the internet, and I really need to be able to know who my clients are, and girls need to be able to know who their fucking clients are, and there needs to be a verification process. The paper verification process was one way. We don't have newspapers in the same way we did, or payphones in the same way we did.
Yeah.
So for me, that's because I'm real fucking old.
That's so real. That's so real. And so what do you think lawmakers are getting wrong the most about porn performers and sex workers?
Yeah, they're not listening to us about the regulations that we want.
Yeah.
I was there during the protesting of Prop 60, and we said to Kalosha, this is the regulations that we want. And they called us stupid, literally. They said we were fucking stupid. I was standing there in Sacramento in the motherfucking courthouse, and they called us fucking stupid. Because people need to listen to us. We know what the fuck we're talking about. Oh, they're such assholes. Before us, there were maids who were asking for regulations, and they also told the maids to fuck off.
Yeah.
So
For that.
please listen to blue-collar workers like maids and sex workers, providers, about the regulations that we want, because we will tell you what we need. We need you to listen.
Yes. And like making laws about us without us, you know?
You heard us,
Yeah.
and that's not cool, man.
So how has the internet with more fan access changed the way that we work?
Okay. The internet with more fan access actually made a lot of forms of sex work much safer. For example, I, instead of doing in-person sessions, have switched to doing video chats.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly safe and really wonderful. Safe for the client and safe for the provider. So that is a big way that it's changed it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Often the rates aren't that much different either.
No, they're exactly the same. It's nice. You don't have to leave your fucking house. I don't have to leave my fucking house. I'm an indoor cat. You're an indoor cat. Let's fucking do this.
I love
Indoor
it.
cats unite on the internet.
I love it. I've become such a hermit since I call the internet.
Introverts together in our homes, united. The internet.
And so, in your opinion, what does support for sex workers actually look like in practice?
Thank you. Support for sex workers actually looks like um, dealing with your internalized misogyny. You have it. I have it. We all have it. It's awful and it's ugly and it's terrible. It's even harder if you think of yourself as a feminist. It's even harder to admit that you have it. And so I just want to tell you, if you're hearing this and it like you it twitches inside your chest, like it has twitched inside my chest. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not bad because I have internalized misogyny and I've been programmed by the patriarchy and by society. You're not bad. But we have to deal with it. We have to scoop it out. You know, we have to pull out the poison. And I think that empathy for people and feminism for everyone is is how you can best support sex workers. Oh, and pay us for our work. Please pay for porn. Please pay for porn.
Pay for your porn, tip well, be generous,
Yeah, and pay for your porn.
and be nice.
And be nice. God damn it, be nice. So many of you motherfuckers are so rude. What the fuck is wrong with you? Knock it off.
Sex workers are humans.
Yeah.
Treat us as such.
People. Motherfucker. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so Aiden's been in the industry for a long time, so she's been able to see so many changes happen, and I think that insight from the people who come before us, the people who are still doing the work that have been doing it for a while, are just so filled with knowledge. Like, I know for myself personally, I really only have knowledge of the last 20 years, but like activism knowledge only maybe the last 8 years, and some of these people that we're talking to, they've been doing this activism work for like a couple of decades now, and they're just so filled with so much wisdom. So shout out to people like Aiden, Starr, who are continuing to raise awareness about the things that are happening in our industry. Next up, Daisy caught up with AJ Fresh. Oh my God, AJ Fresh was so much fun to listen to this interview. There was a lot of chemistry between Daisy and AJ Fresh in this interview. AJ Fresh is a 10-inch male performer, a designer, and director from Los Angeles. And you can find all of his work, which there is plenty of, at allmylinks.com/AJ-Fresh. Let's check out Daisy and AJ.
I'm AJ Fresh here with the lovely Daisy Do AVN 2026.
So lately, we've been dealing with a lot of legal issues in the industry. There's a
Mhm.
lot of changes going on.
Yes.
What do you think lawmakers are getting wrong about sex workers?
What I think lawmakers are getting wrong about sex workers is everything. They treat us as like an ostracized community. They don't respect us as a actual industry that has multiple moving parts. It's not just people fucking. You have directors, producers, set designers, PAs, performers. It's a whole thing. And I think that a lot of bullshit stigma that these lawmakers have affects the way that they think about and enforce laws that relate to our industry. They think of us as some like third class, lower rate scum, when really like the whole world buys porn, views porn, sex work in general, whether it's escorting or strippers or anything. So it's kind of weird how it's like what's it called? Hypocritical, like, they love sex workers and paying for sex, and you see movies, sex sells, but then they're like, oh no, we can't give you a loan. We don't want to have you guys doing your own thing. So I think that they get everything wrong. They need to have actual sex workers involved in the policy making.
Do you think the current legal climate is making the industry any safer?
Safer? No, because they don't really care about us, like I said. So they don't care if people are getting scammed or abused, whether that's physically, sexually, emotionally, monetarily. They don't care about if we get, robbed or anything like that. They're just like, oh, you guys are just some dirty prostitutes on the side. So I think that if they were treated as with more of a humane outlook, think of it as like clothing production or movie production. then they would see it from a business standpoint, and then they would be more like happily greedy with it.
Yeah.
And they want money at the end of the day.
We're human beings working
Yeah.
a job, trying to make a living.
Exactly. And it's like, you senators are the ones hiring all the escorts and paying for porn, and you know. So it's like, what's up, dog? Like, how you gonna make a law and then fucking go break that law? It's fucking stupid.
Hypocrisy is
Right.
real.
Yeah.
So we know when mainstream journalism covers sex work, and especially with legislation, there can be some stigma and some weirdness there. What do you wish that journalists would ask performers in covering porn legislation?
I wish that journalists would ask performers more about their genuine life experience and their inspirations. What got them into sex work, why they stay in it, how they've been able to capitalize off of it, build their own brands, build their own businesses. You know, like I said, it's not just fucking, it's production, it's everything.
Yeah.
So I wish that they would be more insightful into those aspects.
So you've been in the industry for a little while now. What
Yeah.
has changed since you got into the industry?
What has changed since I've been in the industry? More creator centered everything. So like, instead of relying on a studio or a director to put you into a scene or a scenario, you can do it yourself with a phone. So, you know, there's a lot of niches, a lot of fetishes, a lot of everything that gets a lot more exposure because it cuts out the middleman of the studio. And what's good about that is it allows people to express their own creativity, what generally makes them horny, that they like doing, that they can promote and sell without having some look over their shoulder like, no, you can't do that. You got to do this, you know, BBC this, MILF that, you know, they're trying to categorize people. Whereas over time, thanks to like these different platforms, you can do your own thing. So you don't have to turn to something that you necessarily wouldn't normally do or be uncomfortable doing. You just do your own shit, make your own fan base, and be successful from there.
Would you say there's like more opportunities for performers?
Definitely, there's more opportunities, and you know, you got to work a little bit harder, but it's worth it in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for talking.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hey, AJ Fresh, look me up. Daisy Do Ducati. We also got a dope scene on, can I plug it? I don't know. Evolve Fight. There's it. Check out my site. Got a little QR code right there. If you can scan it, take a screenshot. And thank you for having me.
It's totally true that these politicians, they're the ones that are like creating these laws, yet they're the ones. And we know, we hear the reports from our colleagues, like they're the ones like hiring sex workers, but they're also like creating laws against sex work. It literally makes no sense. Like, what upside down backwards world are we living in? Huge shout out to AJ Fresh. Really rad to have you with us on the podcast. Let's move on to our next interview that Daisy did. This time she met up with Shay Fox. Shay Fox is also a veteran with a bit of a gap in her porn resume, which you'll hear about. Shay Fox is a digital adult creator, a published model, and a public figure. You can find her on X at Club Shay Fox. That's CLUBSHAYFOX.
Hi, I'm Shay Fox.
And Shay, how long have you been in the industry?
So I've been in the industry. I started in 2009. 2019, I took about a 6-year hiatus.
Wow.
Just because, not for any reason. And then I came back about 3 years ago, and I've been looking really good. So,
Welcome back. What do you think has changed since you started the industry?
since I started,
Yeah.
there's a lot of changes. So I came in when there was still DVDs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, VHS,
Oh, wow.
then DVDs.
Yep.
Then we all had our own websites, and now we all have OnlyFans.
Yep.
So that's changed. I feel like it's good in a way because we have more control over how we upload our content, what we put on there, what our fans like. Like, we can really cater to that. So I love that piece. And I feel like there's a lot of performers, so it's good. good.
And do you think having more fan access has been beneficial for performers?
I think yes. The reason why I think yes is because I feel like everybody likes convenience.
Yeah,
They do. They want
absolutely.
something- Like that's why we like OnlyFans. It's easy to upload, or even Fancy. It's easy to upload at Loyal Fans. And they're kind of all the platforms are very similar. So the more user friendly they are to us, the more user friendly they are going to be to fans.
Yeah, absolutely. What's one thing that feels better about the industry today, and one thing that feels worse than when you started?
Oh, that's such a loaded question. What feels better? I feel like the industry itself is still thriving. I do feel like there's a lot of laws and changes that are taking place that probably needed to take place. Some of them, some of them. I'm all for verifying 18 over on our platforms. Like that should just be
Unfortunately, the way they're approaching it is
right.
bizarre.
But anything that has to do with us has never been an easy. We're not like it's always a catastrophe, and they make it.
Yeah. And so when mainstream reporters report on the industry, what kind of questions do you wish they would ask us?
I wish they would do more research.
Yeah.
I wish they would stick with the facts and not embellish, which they love to do.
That's real.
Based on the narrative that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
So, and it's sometimes the industry is not always in the brightest light for everybody,
Yeah.
For us it is. We're comfortable with it. We love our sexuality. So it's a beautiful thing, I feel like. Some people not. That's their issues.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
It's
been awesome seeing you.
So it's awesome that Shay mentioned that she used to work when porn was on VHS tapes. One of the things that we did at AVN on Thursday night was we got to see the Peter North documentary. And if you don't know who Peter North is, you should Google him. He's basically like the greatest male porn star of all time. And the documentary was really rad. And you could see, like it was like VHS tapes back in the day, like go to the movie the movie store, like Blockbuster, and there's a certain section, or like you go to an adult store and they were showing like clips of like that kind of stuff, like old school, like how we used to consume porn. I wonder if that stuff is going to start to come back considering what's happening with porn on the internet. But anyways, it was really great knowing that Shay Fox lived during that era. Again, I think it's really great to talk to people who have seen these huge monumental changes in our industry. So thank you so much to Shay Fox for joining us on the podcast. Our next interview was with Summer Hart. Summer was really great, full of energy. She actually also works with an organization in Las Vegas. She's an adult creator and she works with Suede Collective, which is a sex worker organization that focuses on harm reduction and mutual aid. So Summer really had a lot to say about what's happening in the industry right now.
So age verification is this big thing, and it sounds like it's so good. I mean, you have to get your ID out whenever you want to get a drink, right? But it's so much different than that. Like with age verification, there's this really big problem, one of which is that you actually have to submit an ID online. You have no idea where that goes, who gets to see that, and also that it's just like intended to crush the adult industry, right? And the way that that's going to work is just basically, if I can Google your site and then you, the good guy, wants me to like put in my ID and do all this facial scans and verification, right? Well, maybe I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to find an illegal source. And the illegal source, right, they might host CSAM, they might host revenge porn. They're a way, way more dangerous place for people to be, a way more dangerous place for young people to be. But those sites, they were never complying with the law anyway, so they're not going to go offline. Only adult sites where consenting adults who are doing what we're supposed to do, doing the paperwork, checking IDs, only we are getting punished.
Yep. And it's kind of like such a pasta where it only serves to make our lives harder, less safe.
Yeah. And in reality, nobody is kept safe by that. Really, like if people want to keep minors from accessing adult content, they need to do, I know it's a lot harder, but they need to do the hard thing and just install parental controls and watch their kids.
And most devices come with the parental controls.
They're
already
also
installed.
free. Google has them for free.
Yeah. So how have the recent law changes affected like the work day to day?
So I feel like I see a lot of people making less content, being a little bit more afraid. I see people like changing what types of content they make because they're afraid of what the future is going to look like. I think a lot of us are kind of hedging our bets right now, going, well, can I really like produce more, because what if,
Scary.
yeah, it's scary. It's very scary. It's definitely had like a chilling effect, right?
I agree. Yeah, it's tough out there, and like even myself, I've been trying to figure out like, all right, what's the next move?
Right.
Like, where is this gonna go? Where
What's
are we
the
gonna be in a
landscape?
year?
Yeah.
Like, it's scary. So, do you think the current legal climate makes the industry safer at all?
No. And in fact, like in the time that I've been doing this, there's lots of things that I think are great. Like I think 2257s, making sure everybody has IDs, making sure they're uploaded. I think that's all great stuff we should have always been doing. But like, if we actually talk like, does it keep people safe from harm? Absolutely not. And actually, we've been really good for many years at like regulating that within our industry.
Yeah.
Another really good example of that is like, oh, what about STIs? But we have been excellent at that. At regulating
Rigorous testing standards.
rigorous testing standards. I, in a million times over, would fuck somebody in porn with no condom, and I would never, ever.
That part.
Somebody who's not. Sorry, you guys don't get tested.
Yeah. Amen to that. Like, and we have to get tested at least every 2 weeks.
At least every 2 weeks. I get tested every week.
So, what do you wish more mainstream journalists would ask performers when covering the industry?
I actually just wish they would include us in conversations. I think like so commonly you read this article and some church group has been consulted. Some anti-porn lobby has been consulted, but they never even talked to a single person who's actually in the industry. And we are so easy to find. And it's just that they don't want to talk to us, right? Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're making all these changes and laws
and we've never
and
been
having these
asked.
conversations.
They talk about it in legislative work. They call it stakeholders, but we're consistently the only stakeholders who are not invited to the conversation.
Exactly. And what do you think's been the biggest change in the industry since you started?
It used to be that you could do more stuff. Kinkier stuff.
Yeah.
And people were a little bit more free to express themselves, and everybody I feel like knew that it was consensual, that we were all adults, that like this was between two grown-ups, and maybe none of your business if you don't like it. But somehow it's been up for debate, like, what about these people doing a crazy thing?
And every single act has been scrutinized.
Every single act. Yeah, I remember. I love fisting.
Me too.
And I just remember fisting becoming obscene in this
Yeah.
crackdown on MasterCard and Visa. Now fisting is obscene.
Yeah,
That's homophobic.
I did a scene a while ago because I know they had the rule where you couldn't have 5 fingers, it could only be 4 left.
Yep.
And so I did a scene where I put 4 fingers in and then the thumb from the other hand.
Yeah, that should be allowed.
Let's see if I can get away with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, to try to figure out, and there was even a Supreme Court case on this, right, to try to figure out the definition of obscenity is.
Right.
And it's so ridiculous to try to restrict what consenting adults are doing together and watching on film when it's perfectly legal to do.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's somehow obscene. I don't know. You'll never figure out what that means anyway.
It's ridiculous.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been amazing.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Summer, for being on with us. If you want to learn more about Summer, you can find her on X at Summer Hart XXX. That's SummerHartXXX. Honestly, y'all, you can also Google Summer Hart porn star and like so much stuff comes up because she's also doing some activist stuff right now as well, as mentioned. So yeah, thanks so much, Summer. It was so great having you. You're just so filled with information. We really appreciate you sharing that with our audience. Next up on the interview list, we have Henry from Decriminalize Sex Work. Decriminalize Sex Work works to improve policies related to all forms of sex work and to end the prohibition of consensual adult prostitution in the United States. So we got to sit down with Henry and Becca from Decriminalize Sex Work. These people are doing incredible work, but I have to be completely honest. The mic was not working very well for Becca. And so we were only able to capture a very small part of some of the incredibly intelligent things that she was saying. So I say all that to say, we managed to get Henry's interview pretty decently. But if you want to learn more about Decriminalize Sex Work, the work that they're doing, please go to their website, decriminalizesex.work, because they're doing some of the most important work that there is. Decriminalizing sex work is like the cry of sex workers everywhere. And so, yeah, we really applaud them for the work that they're doing. And we really apologize for not getting Becca's audio on camera the way we would have liked. It was a big room. There was a lot of noise, and it was our first time there. So I promise you guys, we're just going to get better with time. But for now, let's hear what Henry has to say with a little bit of Becca and Daisy.
Thank you guys so much for talking to us today. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are affecting us right now and the changing laws and legislation. So what's one law or regulation right now that you wish that fans and followers knew more about?
I think for me, one thing we're tackling in the Northeast are an uptick of like establishment licensure bills,
Yeah.
establishments, and penalty increases.
Yeah.
And a lot of feminists who are not really into the idea of decrim think that these laws are going to put some elements of protection to these establishments and their cultures. But what's really happening is like we have, immigration and customs enforcement being not overseen,
Horrible.
47-day training program, giving
Crazy.
them more access. It's putting sex workers, migrant laborers, and trafficking survivors at risk.
So when people say they want to protect sex workers, what do they usually get wrong? It's a big
For
one.
me, when I am talking to, let's say, like fresh allyship or allyship potential, or just someone who's not in the scene, isn't familiar, doesn't hang out with sex workers, is coming with a lot of baggage from like popularized culture
Yeah.
or depiction of sex work. I think like the rescue narrative is old.
Yeah.
It's
So
annoying.
tired.
It's a little bit paternalizing.
Yeah.
And it suggests that sex workers don't have autonomy, but the fact of the matter is, we do. Sex work, by its definition, is an act of adult consent. You cannot be in sex work without these two factors.
Yeah, it's not sex work if there's not consent.
That's right. And to assume that everybody who gets involved in sex work is either at the pinnacle of privilege or two shakes away from a body bag is deeply problematic.
Yeah.
The world is losing its taste for nuance, and I see that. But I do feel that the narrative of rescue versus rights is one of the most common barriers I feel I interact with.
Yeah.
And it's well-intentioned people who come into spaces genuinely wanting to do good and end up being a little closed-minded and condescending and a little talky too much, which I'm guilty of myself constantly. But yeah, I think it's people don't look at sex workers and see their peers, their friends, their neighbors, their allies. They're just like, here's this entity, and it's like, dog, we're humans. Yeah, we're human beings. Can you not see our thumbs? Like, come on.
So, in your opinion, what would effective advocacy and allyship look like?
I think sex workers and survivors to the front.
Yes.
Training them properly so they can protect themselves and their rights.
Yeah.
I think allyship, having some kind of education, would be really beneficial too.
Yeah.
Really, what the sex worker rights movement needs right now is allyship testimony. We need public declarations of support. We need like a de-siloed conversation with the working class, essentially.
Yes.
We have to understand that all of our struggles are common ground.
Yes. And I think also for allyship to invest in sex worker rights, the way they consume sex work would be refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, like taking that initiative. If you can watch porn every day, you can read an article once a month. You can donate once a year.
Exactly. Amen.
So, how do you think we can overcome hierarchy? Porn community, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. The
Yes.
First Amendment is crumbling before your eyes,
Yes.
and it was the only thing you ever had. Sex workers want to protect you. Sex workers want to be in community with you. Sex workers want to fight for your rights because your rights are our rights, are the rights of the working class. Each silo. You're not better. You're a whore too.
We need to team up and work together and fight this shit as a community. Thank you guys so much for talking to us today. It's been amazing.
Thank you so much to that team. They were incredible. Honestly, they were my favorite table to visit. I just clicked with those people so well. It was freaking awesome. So big shout out to the Decriminalize sex work table at AVN. I hope I run into y'all again sometime. Let's move on to our last interviewee. We have Tef Wesley. Tef Wesley is an adult creator and a performer from Las Vegas, and you can find more about him on X at Tef Wesley XXX. That's at TEFWESLEYXXX. Here's Tef.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hi, Daisy. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Good.
Thank you so much for talking with
Thanks
us.
for having me.
So why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers?
All right, my name is Tef Wesley. I've been in the industry for about 2 years now. Right here in Las Vegas with AB Advocacy.
Oh yeah. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you on. What is a myth about porn performers that you're tired of?
That were sex crazed degenerates, and I mean, of course, that applies to some people.
Some of us are.
I'm not gonna say that that's not a real thing, but you know, at the end of the day, we're doing a job. We're providing fantasy. We're in the business of providing fantasies and making things look good. That might be uncomfortable sometimes, you know, but we're telling fantasies out here, and it's the reality of it. But if you like sex and you are sex based, it's probably going to be a lot easier for you.
So when people say they want to support sex work
Okay.
and sex workers, what does that look like to you?
Well, that can mean a couple of things. Support can come in a couple of different forms. Obviously, I know a lot of the ladies that I know, they appreciate the financial support of it. I know I appreciate the financial support of it when it comes, and that shows that like you're a dedicated real fan. No pun intended. And then also supporting would be able to, stand up for your friend that's a sex worker. When someone says something that's like completely just like unrealistic about them, or they have these preconceptions about them, and they're completely misunderstood. Stand up for your friend and be like, no, it's not like that. That's not that person is. That's a good person. You should try to help up. You know?
Exactly. Look out for us when we're not in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Look out for us. Not our backs.
Yeah. So you've been to a few AVN towns, and what's your favorite part of AVN that people don't see on social media?
I think obviously people see all the companies, they see the fun, and they see that I personally like to be able to network with people that we may only know each other as an avatar on Twitter or Instagram. We might have funny inside jokes that we have on social media, and send funny reels or something like that, and then we get to see each other in real life. And really put a face to the name with a lot of these people and build a real life connection, and make real life friends, and hopefully coworkers with different mix.
Hell yeah. I agree. There's so many times where I see people and I'm like, do I actually know this person or do I just follow them online?
Right. I've done that a lot this week, and then there's a lot of people who reached out to me and they're like, hey, I follow you. And I'm like, you know what? You look really familiar. I'll look at the badge and I'll be like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yes, I do follow you guys.
Yeah. It's fun coming together as a community.
It is. It's cool because this is the one week that you get to see a lot of people that are in your field of business that live in different parts of the country that you may not see in Vegas or in LA, Florida. But the sex workers are all over. They're all over.
So what's one skill that being in porn has taught you that was kind of unexpected?
It's taught me how to be way more for a role.
Yeah.
But it really taught me how to open up. It taught me how to just it taught me how to flow more and be more calculated and lead a scene with my partner. And that's an important thing to do as a male performer, is to be able to lead the scene and make the systems flow from one to the next in a smooth fashion where it doesn't look awkward. Or say if you don't have someone directing you and you're left to your own to do a collab, it's really important to meet the scene and try to make it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, that's real. A lot of people don't realize how difficult it is.
You know, it's funny. They think it's just sex, but you really there's so many variables going on in your heads while you're having sex. Especially if you're doing the production yourself, you're thinking about the lighting. I actually have something now. I'll give away one of my tricks. So
Yeah.
I have a new thing. It's a dongle. You plug it to your HDMI to the TV, and it works really good in hotel rooms. And it streams my phone to the TV.
Brilliant.
So a lot of the times, if I'm doing a position, out of my peripheral, I'll look at the TV and be like, I like this thing. Or like, I need to do something different, just to be able to get the shot.
That's so good. I'm low tech. Sometimes I just put a mirror behind the camera.
That works too. If you have that, then absolutely. But a lot of times in hotel rooms, it works really good from the TV.
Yeah. What advice would you give to up and coming male performers?
First of all, just be yourself. Try to be that humble person. A lot of times people have what they call male talent syndrome. It's really easy for your ego to go through the roof when you're getting paid to have sex with women on camera. And I feel like a lot of the times you just need to like be more down to earth, and also care about and respect your coworkers and your production, because if you're on a set, everyone that's there is there doing the job, and you respect their time and their efforts towards what you're doing as well. That's super important, I think. Just to try to be a pleasant person to be around. It's not all about sex. It's about being a good person. It's about being pleasant to be around and doing your job the way you're supposed to, and making your co-stars and everyone around you feel safe while you're doing it.
At the end of the day, it is a job and it is a workplace.
It is, and everyone should feel safe doing it. And please respect your co-stars, please. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Really love Tuff's energy. He's very friendly and super down to earth, and you can tell almost immediately talking to him. So we really appreciate his input and his thoughts on the industry. And thank you so much to everyone for being on camera with us and agreeing to interview. I mean, we literally put people on the spot. We're like, you want to do an interview for the podcast? And they're like, sure. And we're like, right now though, right? And they're like, oh, okay. So everyone was really gracious, even though they were really tired. Friday was probably the busiest day. I know I personally spent hours walking around. I think from like 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. I was just on my feet walking around. And thanks to my last surgery, I'm able to do things like that now. And I was not bothered at all. I was walking everywhere, all over that casino. So, and I got to meet so many awesome people. And if you are one of those awesome people that I got to meet, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you so much to y'all for listening. We have some really exciting things coming up in 2026, but we really wanted to get some content out to you, which is why we made this episode. And we really wanted to celebrate AVN. And a big, huge shout out to Brian Gross for getting us hooked up as press for our first time at AVN. And again, thank you so much to the entire AVN production crew. Y'all killed it. It was awesome. And don't forget to donate to YAS Podcast because we're adding new hosts and we would love to buy new equipment to be able to do more live events such as we did at AVN. Remember, we're a nonprofit and your donations are considered a tax write-off. Thank you so much for tuning in to YAS Podcast, which is in collaboration with YAS Work. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, by the way, because we're going to put in sneak peek info for the rest of the year in our newsletter. So sign up for that. Head to yaswork.org. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.
We love doing this work, maintaining a platform for sex workers to tell their stories, entertaining and educating the public. If you love our podcast, please consider donating. We are now a 501c3, so your donations would be considered tax deductible. Go to yaswork.org/donate and easily send us some support to help keep this podcast going. That's yaswork.org/donate.